What is up, y'all?
Good morning.
Jesse and Melissa here with Adventure Endeavor, and we've just had an incredible weekend in Cincy, and we're feeling very appreciative, and we wanted to make a video about all the doors that RVing has opened for us, all the opportunities, and just the way that it has changed our lives over the past 2 years. Share that with you guys, and I don't know, make a video about it.
Number one thing that has changed is we've gotten a lot more mosquito bites.
Yes.
So probably one of the biggest things that RVing has changed for us is that it's opened our eyes to living outside of Southern California. We both grew up in the same hometown. We lived there for just over 30 years. And part of the reason that we decided to start traveling like this is we wanted to explore new areas and see what it might be like to actually live in a different part of the country, and see what we could find that might be like a different community that we might want to settle down in. We always had this idea to move to a different state, but couldn't really commit to it.
Yeah, it was hard to pull the trigger. We now we see ourselves, we can actually visualize living in a different area. I mean, all of our friends back home are always saying, SoCal has everything. It has the beach, it has mountains, it has this, it has that, which it does have a lot of stuff, but it's still not in the exact, like in a city, so like, or in a town. You still have to drive an hour or 2 or 3 to go to these places. And since we've been on the road, we've found a lot of small towns where everything is right there and you're 10 minutes from everything. So I don't know, it's weird to even consider settling down, first of all, and settling down in a different area. But we're not settling down right now. Don't get that idea.
Yeah, that's the other flip side of it, is that the more that we travel like this, the more that we don't want to settle down quite yet. And we want to just keep exploring, so maybe eventually, I don't know.
It's interesting. RVing has been great for me because it's allowed me to try something new. Doing this whole YouTube, Instagram, social media, it just would have never happened before. I was working long hours in the studios, long commutes, and financially, going down to one income, or just on Melissa's income, wouldn't have been possible with our mortgage that we were paying for in Southern California. So I've gotten the opportunity to try something new, and I found something I really like. I really like editing video. I have a lot of fun with it, and it's just growing into something that we really enjoy doing, and it's really cool that RVing gave us that opportunity, because now we live a lot cheaper? Yeah. I don't know, than we did before, so that's really cool.
Yeah, and right along with that, it's given us so much financial freedom. We were living in SoCal, paying our mortgage, both working 2 jobs, both commuting.
It seemed like it was just work, and then you get 2 days off, and then you're just so exhausted that you almost do nothing. I mean, we tried to get out a lot, but at times you're just so tired, and it just seemed like that endless loop, and now it seems like we're kind of out of that loop, and we're getting more out of life, it feels like, for me at least.
Yeah, and we're saving a lot of money, because most of the time we do try to boondock. Certain parts of the country that's really difficult, and you have to stay in campgrounds or various other forms of camping. But when we're out west, we mostly try to boondock, so that saves us a lot of money as well. So our cost of living now is significantly lower. We've been able to reduce a lot of debts. We used to have 2 car payments. And just all of these different payments that would just add up, and we kind of worked ourselves into a
hole,
a bit of a hole. Yeah.
And we feel like when you work so hard, you like to purchase yourself things because you're like, well, I worked hard, so I want to buy this thing, I want to buy this new car. And most people this day and age, you get payments, and with payments, in a sense, it kind of puts you back in that hole over and over again. And it's kind of a vicious cycle. And for some reason, with RVing, we started to try and get rid of our payments, and it's gotten us out of that hole. And now we're like, wow, life is a lot easier when you don't have multiple payments and when you are not tied down as much.
That's actually a great segue into my next point, which is that we probably never would have been able to financially afford this much travel, to be able to see this many different parts of the country that we've seen in the past 2 years. We would either have to take time off of work, or then fly out places or get an Airbnb or get a hotel, and all of those costs add up significantly. But now, we're able to kind of explore at a pace that's sustainable and that, in a style that's sustainable financially, because we're still working almost every day. We're still maintaining that like regular life, but we're also exploring as much as we can when we're in a new area.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird in a sense, because it's like you almost feel like you don't get a vacation, but then your life is just so much better. Like, I guess this lifestyle created for me this, I don't look forward to the weekend as much, which seems weird, but I think that's just because we're doing more things during the week, and you're like, oh, we're gonna go do, bless you, we're gonna go do this after work, we're gonna go do that the next day, and then the weekends are still great, and you can do longer activities and spend more time, but it's really nice having a pace that you choose and not always being focused on the weekend. I mean, we went to Baja and we worked the whole time we were there. So that's something we could have never done unless we were RVing.
Yeah, we probably never would have done a trip like that, and it was something that we always wanted to do, but realistically, like, it probably wouldn't have ever happened. And we met some friends last year, and they were planning a trip, and they invited us, and we said, we're going. We're going to take advantage of this opportunity.
That's another great segue too, is the people we've met. When we first started RVing, we thought, oh, it's all about the places. You're going here, you're going to see this, you're going to do that.
And I think a lot of people think that and kind of
I think in the beginning, I think that's for everyone thinks that way. But after, 6 months, 8 months, we started to realize, like, wow, like, we can meet so many different people from so many different parts of the country, get different perspectives. And, you're out there RVing, so you want to be with like-minded people who understand the mindset of full-time RVing, which a lot of people back home in our hometown don't understand it all the way. So it's great meeting friends that, you can travel with, obviously, and people who just get you on a different level.
And all of the locals that we meet in all these new areas are, a huge part of the enhancement of exploring. We've really met a lot of really friendly people in like Laramie and here in Cincinnati. My dad's neighbors are all great, super all friendly
over
people.
Really. And I don't know if it's because, like I've mentioned before, we have a giant squirrel or raccoon on the top of our camera, but people just always, it seems like people just always come up to us and talk to us, and then once you tell them you're a full-time RVer, you're in for a long conversation, which we absolutely love. It's just different because, like, if we would have just gone like on a weekend trip, it's almost like you won't let yourself get into a long conversation because you don't have the time for it, because you're going away for 48 hours. So it's a very different feel, but it's been incredible. Talking about friends and family, this way of travel is great because we have visited all over the country, multiple family members, and we really love that we can go at our own pace. Sometimes it'll be a week. I mean, in New England, I have a lot of family there. We're in and out of my cousin's house for like over a month, up in Maine. And, normally we would just fly in there and do, a long weekend or maybe a week. And that's hard on the wallet, and it's just very difficult to get time off. So when we're there, they work, we hang out after work, we hang out before work, and we all hang out on the weekends and do activities. So it's a great pace, and it's allowed us to reconnect with a lot of our family members all around the country.
Yeah, and we visited so many new places that we probably wouldn't have gone to, and friends that have moved away. We might have, wanted to go visit them, but realistically, it never really would have worked out in the long run. So this has definitely opened those doors and allowed us to see, like, this is what it's like in this place where our friend or family member lives. And it's really nice to be able to go and spend a lot of quality time with them. It changes everything. You're not trying to pack in all these activities.
Instead of just worrying about the activities, you're just like, I'm here, I can spend time with my family, with my friends, and You can stay for an extra month if you want. It doesn't really matter. It's all up to you. So another thing that has been great for us, especially because we boondock a lot, is relearning or being more aware of water consumption and power consumption. When we lived in our house, I mean, you have endless water. You have endless power. Yes, you will get a bill at the end of the month, but we always tried to conserve, but we are nowhere near, the amount that we have now. Like, we are very, very good. We go 50 gallons for a week of living. We would probably do 50 gallons like just for our showers or something like that in our old house. So just being aware of that, I mean, it just feels good to be careful with your water and be careful with your power. And I don't care how careful you are, you're always more careful in an RV than you are in a house.
So RVing has definitely also pushed us outside of our comfort zone and made us more individually self-reliant and also reliant more on each other. So we have to work together as a team.
We're stronger as a team!
A lot more often. We're spending all of our time in a very small space together and traveling all over the country together. And we're learning how to build a business together. So we've learned so much about each other's working styles, and it's completely changed and enhanced our relationship. And I'm not going to lie to you and pretend that it's been all rainbows and sunshine the whole time. It's hard work. And, we are inflicting upon ourselves this challenge to work together and grow together. And I mean, so far it's working out pretty well. Really, I would say that RVing has changed us more than we ever expected, and in various different ways than we ever would have imagined it would. And it's really enhanced our lives and changed our frame of reference and perspective on life, and
it's been great
living.
It's been great, and we really hope that you guys got some value out of this video, because I think a lot of people think, oh, we're just gonna go live in our RV full time, it's just gonna be fun, and we're gonna be the same people we are, it's just we're gonna be having fun all day long. It's not true.
That's probably a very common misconception.
There's a lot of pros to this lifestyle, and it's changed us, and we've grown a lot, and it's just interesting. So hopefully you can watch this video and you have some things to think about if you're gonna, go full-time, or if you already are full-time, you might notice these things in yourself. So thanks for watching.